What if I told you that every single extraordinary achievement in American history started exactly where you are right now, with nothing more than a dream and the decision to act?
What if the only difference between those who live their dreams and those who watch others live theirs is not talent, not luck, not connections, but simply the application of specific, proven principles that anyone can learn and apply? Today, you're going to discover the exact system that transforms dreams into reality, goals into achievements, and ordinary people into extraordinary success stories. The statistics are sobering yet revealing. According to research conducted at Harvard Business School, only 3% of Americans write down their goals, yet this tiny percentage earns 10 times more than the 97% who don't. A study by Dominican University found that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them.
These aren't coincidences.
These are the mathematical consequences of applying scientific principles to human achievement. What you're about to learn has been validated by decades of research in cognitive psychology, neuroscience, and behavioral economics, and it's been proven in the real lives of millions of Americans who have used these principles to create the success they once only dreamed about. The problem isn't that people don't want success.
Every person I've ever met wants to achieve more, to live better, to make a difference.
The problem is that most people are operating with a broken system, or worse, no system at all.
They're trying to navigate the complex journey from dream to reality using nothing more than hope and occasional bursts of motivation. It's like trying to build a house without blueprint, trying to fly a plane without instrument, trying to run a business without a business plan.
You might get somewhere, but you'll never reach your full potential, and you'll waste enormous amounts of time, energy, and opportunity along the way.
Here's what I promise you today.
By the time we finish, you will have a complete, scientific, proven system for transforming any dream into measurable, achievable reality. You'll understand the 7 mental laws that govern all human achievement. You'll know exactly how to design goals that pull you forward automatically.
You will have the tools to overcome any obstacle, any setback, any fear that tries to stop you.
Most importantly,
you walk away with the absolute certainty your dreams are not just possible, they're inevitable if you apply what you're about to learn.
This system is based on what I call the 7 laws of goal achievement, each one derived from the fundamental principles of human psychology and validated by the success of countless Americans who have applied them. These aren't theories.
These are laws as reliable as the law of gravity, as predictable as the law of cause and effect, as powerful as the laws of physics.
When you align your actions with these laws, success becomes not a possibility, but a certainty.
The first law is the law of clarity.
Your mind is a goal-seeking machine, but it can only find what you define with crystal clear precision. Vague goals produce vague results.
Specific goals produce specific results.
The more detailed and exact your vision of what you want, the more powerfully your subconscious mind will work to make it happen.
Harvard researchers have found that the human brain contains what they call a reticular activating system, a network of neurons that filters information based on what you consider important.
When you get absolutely clear about your goals, this system automatically begins to notice opportunities, resources, and possibilities that were invisible to you before.
Consider the story of John F.
Kennedy and the moonshot goal.
In 1961, when Kennedy announced the goal of landing an American on the moon and returning him safely to Earth before the end of the decade, the technology didn't exist.
The knowledge didn't exist.
Many experts said it was impossible, but Kennedy didn't say, "Let's try to do something impressive in space." He said exactly what would be accomplished, by when, and what success would look like.
That clarity focused the efforts of 400,000 Americans, mobilized billions of dollars in resources, and created innovations that transformed not just space travel, but computing, telecommunications, and material science.
That's the power of clarity.
The key to applying the law of clarity is to write down your goals in detail, as if you're creating a blueprint.
Don't just write financial success. Write, "I earn $300,000 per year by December 31st, 2028, through my position as regional sales director, enabling me to buy a 4-bedroom home in a top school district and save $50,000 annually for my children's college education."
Don't write good health. Write, "I weigh 175 pounds with 15% body fat. I run a 7-minute mile, and I have the energy and strength to play actively with my children every day." The more specific you are, the more your subconscious mind can work to make it happen.
The second law is the law of written goals.
Something extraordinary happens when you write down your goals.
Neuroscientists have discovered that the physical act of writing engages different parts of your brain than thinking or speaking. It activates your reticular activating system more powerfully. It improves retention by over 60%. And it creates what psychologists call implementation intention, a mental process that dramatically increases follow-through. A study published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology found that people who write down their goals are significantly more likely to achieve them than those who only think about them. But here's what most people don't understand about written goals. They must be written in a specific format to be maximally effective. Your goals must be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. But they must also be emotional and reviewed regularly.
This is what I call the smarter system. The emotional component is crucial because your brain is motivated by feelings, not just logic. The regular review component is essential because your subconscious mind needs constant reinforcement to maintain focus.
Let me give you the exact formula.
Write your goal as a positive, personal, present tense statement.
Don't write, "I want to lose weight." Write, "I maintain my ideal weight of 175 pounds. Don't write, "I hope to start a business." Write, "I own and operate a profitable consulting business that generates $500,000 in annual revenue." Your subconscious mind responds to present tense statements as if they're already true, which activates all of your mental and physical resources to make them true. The third law is the law of deadline. Goals without deadlines are merely wishes. A deadline creates urgency. Urgency creates pressure, and pressure creates diamond.
Without a specific time frame, your goal will drift into someday, and someday never comes.
With a clear deadline, your mind automatically begins to organize your time, your energy, and your resources to meet the deadline.
The power of deadlines was demonstrated definitively in a study conducted at Stanford University. Researchers gave participants a complex task and divided them into 3 groups.
The first group received no deadline.
The second group was given a loose deadline. The third group was given a specific, challenging deadline.
The results were dramatic. The no deadline group completed an average of 37% of the task. The loose deadline group completed 62%.
The specific deadline group completed 89%, and they completed it in significantly less time.
Here's how to apply this law.
Every goal must have a specific deadline, not just a year, but a month, a day, and if possible, a time.
If your goal is large and will take more than a year to achieve, break it down into quarterly milestones, monthly targets, and weekly action steps.
Your mind needs regular feedback to maintain motivation and adjust strategy.
When you have a clear deadline, you automatically become more focused, more efficient, and more creative in finding solutions. The fourth law is the law of massive action. Thinking about your goals is important. Planning your goals is essential. But taking action on your goals is everything.
The difference between dreamers and achievers is not the quality of their dreams, it's the quantity and quality of their actions.
Research conducted at the University of Pennsylvania found that successful people take an average of 50% more action than unsuccessful people, and they take action 50% faster.
But this isn't about random activity. This is about massive, focused, consistent action aligned with your written goals. Every day, you must take at least one action, preferably 3 to 5 actions, that move you closer to your most important goals. These actions don't have to be huge.
Small, consistent actions compound over time to create extraordinary results. If you improve just 1% per day, you will be 37 times better at the end of a year. That's the mathematical power of compound improvement. Consider the story of Sam Walton, who built Walmart from a single store in Arkansas into the world's largest retailer. Walton didn't have special advantages.
He didn't have wealthy parents, or advanced degrees, or insider connections. What he had was an obsession with taking action. He visited competitors' stores constantly, studying their methods.
He talked to customers every day, learning what they wanted. He analyzed sales data every week, adjusting his strategy based on results.
He took massive action consistently for decades.
That's how you build an empire.
The key to massive action is to plan your day the night before.
Identify the 3 most important actions you can take tomorrow to advance your goals, and do those actions first, before anything else.
Brian Tracy calls this eating the frog, doing your most important task first.
When you consistently take action on your most important goals first thing in the morning, you guarantee progress regardless of what else happens during the day. The fifth law is the law of continuous learning.
In our rapidly changing economy, your ability to learn faster than your competition is your only sustainable competitive advantage.
The average American reads less than 1 book per year after graduating from college, while successful people read an average of 50 books per year.
That difference in learning creates an enormous difference in earning and achieving.
But learning isn't just about reading books.
It's about constantly upgrading your knowledge, your skills, and your thinking. It's about seeking out mentors who have achieved what you want to achieve. It's about attending seminars, listening to educational podcasts, watching instructional videos, and taking courses that advance your expertise. The most successful Americans are learning machines.
They never stop growing, never stop improving, never stop evolving.
Warren Buffett, one of the world's most successful investors, spends 80% of his day reading and thinking. Bill Gates reads 50 books per year, despite running a multi-billion-dollar foundation.
Oprah Winfrey built her media empire partly by constantly learning and sharing what she learned with others.
These people understand that in the information age, your earning power is directly related to your learning power. Here's your action plan for continuous learning.
Read at least 30 minutes per day in your field of expertise.
Listen to educational audio programs during your commute. Attend at least 4 learning events per year, whether conferences, seminars, or workshops.
Find a mentor who has achieved the level of success you want to achieve and learn everything you can from them. Continuous learning is not optional if you want continuous success.
The 6th law is the law of persistence. Perhaps no quality is more essential to achievement than persistence. Every great success story is a story of persistence in the face of obstacles, setbacks, and temporary failures. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who abandon them is simply this: achievers persist longer.
Consider the story of Colonel Sanders, who started Kentucky Fried Chicken at age 62. His famous recipe was rejected by restaurants 1,009 times before someone finally said yes.
Most people would have quit after 10 rejections, or 50, or certainly after 100.
But Sanders persisted, and that persistence created a global empire. He understood that rejection wasn't personal, it was just part of the process.
Every no was simply bringing him closer to the inevitable yes.
Research in cognitive psychology has revealed that successful people view obstacles differently than unsuccessful people.
Unsuccessful people see obstacles as reasons to quit. Successful people see obstacles as problems to solve, as challenges that make them stronger, as temporary inconveniences on the path to inevitable success.
They understand that persistence is not just continuing when things are easy, it's continuing especially when things are difficult.
The key to developing persistence is to understand that temporary failure is not permanent failure.
Every setback contains lessons that make you more likely to succeed next time.
Every rejection teaches you something about your approach. Every obstacle forces you to become more creative, more resourceful, more determined.
When you view challenges this way, persistence becomes easy because you are not just enduring difficulty, you're using difficulty to build your success. The 7th law is the law of personal responsibility.
This is perhaps the most important law of all, because it determines whether you apply all the other laws or not. The law of personal responsibility states that you are completely responsible for everything that happens to you. Your successes are your responsibility.
Your failures are your responsibility. Your current situation is the result of all the choices you've made up to this point, and your future will be the result of all the choices you make from this point forward. This isn't about blame or guilt.
This is about power.
When you accept complete responsibility for your life, you gain complete power to change your life. When you blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck for your situation, you give away your power to change it. But when you accept that you created your current situation through your choices, you realize that you can create a different situation through different choices.
This principle was demonstrated powerfully in a longitudinal study conducted by Harvard psychologist Dr. Martin Seligman.
Over 20 years, Seligman tracked thousands of people and found that those who took personal responsibility for their results consistently outperformed those who blamed external factors, regardless of their starting situation, education, or background.
Personal responsibility wasn't just correlated with success, it was the primary predictor of success. The most successful Americans have internalized this law completely. They never waste time or energy blaming others or making excuses. Instead, they ask themselves, what did I do or fail to do that contributed to this result? What can I do differently next time?
This approach transforms every setback into a learning opportunity and every success into a foundation for greater success. Now, let me share with you the practical application system that brings all 7 laws together into a comprehensive goal achievement methodology.
This is the exact process used by the most successful people in America, and it will work for you regardless of your current situation, education, or background. Step 1 is the clarification process.
Take out a piece of paper and write down everything you want to be, do, or have in your life.
Don't edit yourself. Don't worry about how you'll achieve these things. Just write down everything you want. Most people have never done this exercise, and it's incredibly powerful.
When you see all of your dreams written down in one place, you begin to see patterns, priorities, and possibilities you've never noticed before. Step 2 is the prioritization process. Look at your list and ask yourself this question. If I could only achieve one goal on this list, but I was guaranteed to achieve it, which goal would have the greatest positive impact on my life? Circle that goal.
That's your major definite purpose, your primary goal, the one that deserves most of your time, energy, and attention.
Step 3 is the specification process. Take your primary goal and rewrite it according to the SMART formula. Make it specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, emotional, and reviewable. Write it as a positive, personal, present tense statement.
This becomes your goal statement, and you should read it aloud twice per day, once when you wake up and once before you go to sleep.
Step 4 is the visualization process. Close your eyes and create a detailed mental picture of your goal as already achieved. See yourself living your goal. Feel the emotions you'll experience when you achieve it.
Hear the sounds, notice the colors, imagine the sensation.
The more vivid and detailed your visualization, the more powerfully it programs your subconscious mind to seek opportunities and solutions. Step 5 is the planning process.
Ask yourself, what are all the things I would have to do to achieve this goal? Write down every action you can think of, then organize these actions into a logical sequence.
This becomes your goal achievement plan, your roadmap from where you are to where you want to be. Step 6 is the implementation process.
From your plan, identify the one action that would contribute most to achieving your goal, and do that action immediately.
Then identify the next most important action, and do that.
Continue this process daily, always working on the most important action that moves you closer to your goal.
Step 7 is the evaluation process.
At the end of each week, review your progress. Ask yourself, what did I do well this week? What could I improve? What adjustments should I make to my plan?
This regular review keeps you on track and allows you to course correct quickly when necessary.
This system works because it aligns with how your brain actually functions. Your brain is constantly seeking to close the gap between your current reality and your clearly defined goals.
When you follow this process, you activate what neuroscientists call your goal-seeking mechanism, the same mechanism that allows you to walk to your refrigerator in the dark or find your car keys when you're late for work. But here's what most people don't understand about goal achievement. The real value isn't just in achieving your goals. The real value is in who you become in the process of achieving them.
Every goal you set and achieve makes you stronger, more confident, more capable.
Every challenge you overcome expands your comfort zone. Every new skill you develop increases your value in the market.
Goal achievement is actually personal development in disguise.
Consider the story of Michael Jordan, widely regarded as the greatest basketball player in history.
Jordan wasn't born great. He was cut from his high school basketball team.
He wasn't the most naturally talented player of his generation, but he set clear goals, worked systematically to achieve them, and became obsessed with continuous improvement.
Every season, he identified specific areas to develop and worked relentlessly to master them.
By the time he retired, he had not only achieved his goals, he had become a completely different person, a champion with unshakable confidence and unmatched work ethic.
That's the real promise of goal achievement.
It's not just about getting what you want.
It's about becoming the kind of person who can achieve anything they set their mind to. It's about developing what I call an achievement mentality, the unshakable belief that you can learn any skill, overcome any obstacle, and achieve any goal if you're willing to pay the price in effort and persistence. The neuroscience behind this transformation is fascinating. Every time you set a goal and take action toward it, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with achievement behavior. Every time you persist through a challenge, you build what researchers call grit, the combination of passion and perseverance that predicts success better than talent, intelligence, or background. Every time you achieve a goal, you increase your self-efficacy, your belief in your ability to succeed in challenging situations.
But here's the crucial point that most people miss. You don't develop these qualities by thinking about them or reading about them.
You develop them by practicing them.
Every small goal you set and achieve builds your goal-achieving muscle. Every challenge you face and overcome increases your confidence in facing bigger challenges.
Every action you take despite fear reduces the power of fear over your life. This is why I recommend that you start with smaller goals while you're learning this system. Don't try to transform your entire life overnight.
Pick one area, apply these principles systematically, and prove to yourself that they work.
Once you've achieved success in one area, you can apply the same principles to every other area of your life. The time factor is also crucial to understand.
Most people overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year and underestimate what they can achieve in 10 years.
Real success takes time, but it's inevitable if you apply these principles consistently. The average overnight success takes about 10 years of preparation. The average major achievement requires about 7 years of focused effort.
But here's the encouraging news. The journey itself becomes enjoyable when you're making consistent progress toward meaningful goals. Now, let me address the obstacles that will try to stop you, because they will come.
The first obstacle is fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of change, fear of what others will think. Here's what you need to understand about fear. It's normal, it's temporary, and it diminishes with action.
Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is feeling the fear and acting anyway.
Every time you act despite fear, you reduce fear's power over you and increase your confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes. The second obstacle is self-doubt. You'll hear a voice in your head saying, "Who are you to think you can achieve this?
You don't have what it takes.
You've failed before. You will fail again." This voice isn't telling you the truth. It's trying to keep you safe by keeping you small. The antidote to self-doubt is action. Every small success builds evidence that you can succeed. Every step forward proves that you're capable of taking the next step. The third obstacle is other people. Not everyone will support your goals. Some people will try to discourage you, either because they don't believe you can succeed or because your success makes them uncomfortable about their own lack of achievement.
You must choose your associations carefully.
Spend time with people who believe in you and support your goals.
Limit time with people who drain your energy or undermine your confidence. The fourth obstacle is perfectionism. You'll be tempted to wait until you have the perfect plan, the perfect timing, the perfect resources.
But perfection is the enemy of progress.
The goal isn't to have a perfect plan. It's to have a plan and improve it as you go.
The goal isn't perfect timing. It's to start now and adapt as necessary. The goal isn't perfect resources. It's to work with what you have while you're building what you need. Here's a crucial mindset shift that will change everything for you. Stop thinking of yourself as someone who has dreams and start thinking of yourself as someone who achieves goals. Stop thinking of yourself as someone who tries things and start thinking of yourself as someone who finishes things. Stop thinking of yourself as someone who hopes for success and start thinking of yourself as someone who creates success through systematic action. This identity shift is more powerful than any technique or strategy because it changes how you approach every situation.
When you see yourself as an achiever, you automatically look for ways to achieve. When you see yourself as a finisher, you automatically persist until completion. When you see yourself as a creator of success, you automatically take responsibility for results. The compound effect of applying these principles consistently is extraordinary.
In year 1, you'll achieve goals you never thought possible. In year 2, you'll achieve bigger goals faster. In year 3, people will start asking you for advice. In year 5, you'll be recognized as successful in your field. In year 10, you'll be mentoring others and creating value at levels you can't imagine today.
But it all starts with a decision.
The decision to take complete responsibility for your life. The decision to stop making excuses and start making progress. The decision to stop dreaming about success and start creating it through systematic action. The decision to become the architect of your own destiny rather than the victim of your circumstances. Every great achievement in American history started with someone making this decision.
The Wright brothers decided to solve the problem of human flight. Henry Ford decided to make automobiles affordable for average Americans. Steve Jobs decided to put advanced technology in the hands of ordinary people.
Martin Luther King Jr. decided to make equality a reality rather than just a dream.
These people weren't born different from you.
They made different decisions and took different action.
Your dreams are valid.
Your goals are achievable.
Your potential is unlimited. But potential without action is worthless.
The greatest tragedy isn't that people aim too high and miss. The greatest tragedy is that people aim too low and hit, or worse, they don't aim at all.
You have everything you need to begin right now. You have a brain capable of incredible achievements.
You have access to more information than any generation in history. You have opportunities that previous generations couldn't even imagine.
You have the freedom to choose your own path and create your own success.
The only question is whether you use these advantages or waste them. Here's your immediate action plan.
Before you go to sleep tonight, write down your number 1 goal using the SMARTER formula. Tomorrow morning, identify the 3 most important actions you can take to move toward that goal, and do those actions before you do anything. Tomorrow evening, review your progress and plan the next day's action. Continue this process for 30 days and watch what happens to your life.
Don't wait for motivation. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. Don't wait for the perfect time. The perfect time is now.
Don't wait until you feel ready. Nobody ever feels completely ready for big goals.
Readiness comes from doing, not from thinking about doing. You are capable of far more than you realize.
You have talents you haven't discovered yet. You have potential you haven't tapped yet. You have a unique contribution to make to the world, but only if you develop yourself and pursue your goals with persistence and determination. The world needs what you have to offer, but only the fully developed version of you. The world needs your talents, but only if you develop them. The world needs your contribution, but only if you have the courage to make it.
And that means pursuing your goals with everything you have, applying these principles with consistency and persistence, and becoming the person you're capable of becoming. Your dreams are not too big. Your goals are not impossible. Your vision is not unrealistic. The only unrealistic thing is thinking you can achieve them without systematic effort, without personal growth, without the application of proven principles. But when you apply what you've learned today, when you harness the power of these 7 laws, when you become obsessed with taking action toward your clearly defined goals, success becomes not just possible but inevitable.
You will achieve your dreams.
You will exceed your expectations.
You will surprise yourself with what you are capable of accomplishing. The journey starts now.
The time is now. You are ready now. Take the first step, then the second step, then the third step.
Keep taking steps, and one day you'll look back amazed at how far you've traveled and how much you've grown.
Your dreams are waiting for you to claim them. Stop waiting and start achieving. The world is waiting for your greatness.